Hiya, and welcome back to Moonlight Castle. The game that teaches us that we might have to kill Liam. Anyways, let's just hop right in. I noticed a strange influx of customers. It wasn't as empty as usual. Over here. Clyde called us over from a secluded table in the corner, away from the new wave of clients Russell was taking care of. That's new. It's about time this place earned some recognition. Clyde sipped his tea and watched the whole thing from afar with a proud look in his eyes. Seems like Russell got a pair of hands helping him direct traffic. It was pretty easy. I just needed to post a picture online and wait for it to go viral. That's not easy at all. You're forgetting Clyde lives in a different world from us. I couldn't get that done all on my own, so there's a special helper sitting on the main road. Clyde showed us a picture of Patrice wearing a two-way sign to advertise the restaurant. Damn. That is so cute. Also really funny. I had to remind him to not flirt with our potential customers, but I believe my words have been ignored. That's something you can't take away from him. Does that mean Russell can't do the training today? Rest assured, Daniel is available to switch at any time. Ryan and I looked at each other. The owner. You mean his father? Yeah, that makes sense. I want to meet him. I want to see how similar the two of them look. About that. And off he goes. I had the pleasure of meeting him earlier, and I must say, he's absolutely massive. Now you're also making me curious. Clyde chuckled and emptied his cup. Liam should be here soon. Seems like his duties are keeping him in place. I see. That's okay, I'm not the one in a hurry. No need to worry, Blake and I can easily trade places. This might have been a good opportunity for me. In that case, I have something to ask you. Go right ahead, I'll do my best to answer in a satisfactory manner. He loved making himself useful. To this day, I still don't understand him. How much do you know about scholarships? I mean, I'm not the only person who received one. It's school-related, I see. His excitement faded away as quickly as it came. He seemed to be finally getting tired of all that garbage. Yes, I'm the one in charge of dealing with all the documentation. I'm obligated to read through them and make sure there are no mistakes. I have an exam this Monday, but I'm not in the position to study right now. I see. I'm glad you brought it to my attention now. I wouldn't want you to lose your benefits over something you obviously have no control over. I leaned forward, eager to hear his explanation. Yes, exactly! I'll need a signed doctor's note, though. Raised a brow and backed off. Who's going to give me that? That's what the documentation says. I can grant you up to 2 weeks with a note. He was feeding me useless junk that I didn't need to hear. Okay, I totally get it, but is there nothing you can do? I just need to be kind and gently lead him to what I wanted him to do. This is quite the pickle. You're not sick, but there are no rules in place to protect the students against supernatural issues. Deep breaths, I'll be straightforward then. Can you forge it? He gasped and puffed out his chest. Joel! I can't do that! Then he placed his hand on top, trying to act shocked in my criminal mind. I'm sure you can. This is an emergency, so it's fine for you to break the rules. He adjusted himself and dragged his chair closer to the table. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I can't help but be bothered by it. Please? Alright, I will do that for you. Hooray, crimes! Yay, crimes! I just want to point this out. I am not endorsing or encouraging anyone to commit any crimes. They are illegal and can land you in jail. Yay, crimes! Reminder, do not commit any crimes. They are illegal and you can go to jail. The situation is dire and drastic measures are necessary. Thank you. The bear rushed back to our table, his eyes locked onto me and beaming with excitement. Daniel is even cooler than I thought. You gotta meet him. There was too much chaos and noise, and my hat was already whispering comforting words. Maybe next time. I looked busy near the front counter. My eyes traveled back toward the entrance. Liam had appeared after squeezing himself through the crowd. He looked just as surprised as we were.
What happened to this place in just 2 hours? It's crowded with... Ugh. Normies.
He needed to drop that lingo. I wasn't in the mood to translate. He means regular people. Our tiger strategy has proven effective. He must be quite charming. Liam tried making sense of his words, but didn't want to be the middleman.
Alright. Is Patrice going full nude then? But that one causes kind of uproar.
Huh? Why is Patrice naked the first thing that came into your mind? Ryan placed his paw between us. No, on that thought, he's not wrong. Liam grinned, casting the unmistakable gremlin look.
You saw it too? Slut.
That word was enough to activate Ryan's fight or flight response. We exercise together! Isn't that normal to see at the gym? He pushed his face forward, squishing it into Liam's. And what about you? You don't even train with us. He shrugged, but his cheek still flushed red.
You don't want to know things happen to your sister is screwing Patrice.
We did not need to know that. We did not need to know that. Liam? Liam, Lakaditora? There are some things that you should never say out loud. That is one of those things. Clyde sighed and repeatedly rapped on the table to restore some order. Okay, I think that's quite enough from you two. Yes. Before you guys start throwing sizes around. Actually, could you do that? It would save me a lot of time and effort.
I know the answer to that one.
Medium training time! I yelled on top of him, ending this conversation once and for all. Is Dylan not coming at all? That question brought them back down to earth.
He's got plans, apparently.
Really? Bummer.
Him being here or not doesn't change anything.
I did want to learn about his talent.
I am literally here. I can answer that for you.
The others looked away. They were being nice enough to not tell him off. I guess.
Don't I guess me? You think it's not the same? Are my answers unsatisfying to you?
I crossed my arms, wondering if he truly wanted to hear the answer to those questions. I'm finally on lunch break. Is everyone here? That snapped me out of my petty mood. Where are we going for this training again? Ryan looked around and came to the same conclusion as me. I don't think we can do it here. It's too crowded. We weren't going to do it here regardless.
Stop overthinking things. We can do it outside in the back where the trash is.
I don't think I'm comfortable with your idea.
You don't need to do anything. Even as a spectator, you're such a bother.
I can set up a table and a couple of chairs far away enough that you won't smell it. That'd be appreciated. We waited for Russell to finish preparing, then joined him. It's tolerable, I'd say. I'm guessing I also won't get to do much.
Unless you become a medium in the last 24 hours, then yes, you only get to listen.
The theory is fun, at least. Russell stared at Clyde for longer than usual. If my assumption was right, Clyde must have been lying. I got a message. He took his phone out of his pocket. It's Blake! The dragon leaned closer while Ryan read the text. Is he looking for me? No, he's asking about the monsters Joel and I met yesterday.
Finally! He's working on my commission!
Don't be impatient. Can we get started already? Mr. Blorbo Commission. Yes! Blake. Can we see it when it's done? Can we get started already?
I was getting to it. Soul gathering takes time and focus.
Whatever that was, I didn't believe him. Then you weren't doing it at all. You should explain that.
Soon. I've made myself a ladder. That way you don't get lost in the sauce.
What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? Is that a reference to some bullshit thing I did? Hang on. I did a thing a while ago. I still have it, probably. It's on Discord. Let me pull it up. Because... Wait, no. It's not on Discord, it's on Twitter. Or X. Whatever the fuck it is. But it's absolutely foul. Wait, I can't pull it up. I can't show you because my webcam isn't plugged in. I did not think that through, but like, I did a there it is, there it is. I'm actually going to save that. And I'm going to send it to Discord. That.
So, I made myself a ladder, that way I don't get lost in the sauce.
He checked his own phone and started reading.
Okay, this one's pretty easy. What is a medium and the job they do?
Upon hearing that, Ryan stopped texting and raised his paw. Oh, I know that one! Liam chuckled and allowed him to speak. You are taking the teaching part a bit too literally.
Silence, please. And let your classmate talk.
I facepalmed. This was the person guiding us. You kick bad ghosts in the ass and protect the city. My face dropped onto the table. They don't have asses. True, the lower end of their bodies is gone. Guys, you know what I mean. Yes. I know you like to see us as heroes.
Me? A hero? LMAO! Not a chance.
Clyde turned to me, waiting for me to explain. I'm done with translating for him. I wasn't going to let this turn into a habit. He's just laughing. I understood Clyde's confusion with nerd lingo, but didn't he at least have internet access? He can't use it as freely as you can, Joel. I appreciated the answer, but it was rude to read my mind. You guys talking about browsing through the internet? I'd rather avoid it. Blake had to post Daniel's food on the Prima Rosa's official account for me. Okay, maybe that could have been enough to get everyone's attention.
Why don't you do it yourself? It's like you're under surveillance from other students or something.
Oddly specific. He's obviously joking. Yeah. I'd like to resume our conversation.
Where were we? Oh, yeah. I remember what I wanted to say. A friend of mine used to call us the guides to the afterlife.
He showed us a list of duties his association usually assigned to him.
We have to make sure that the ghosts that linger won't cause trouble, because sometimes their emotions go wild and you need to appease them.
He went over the colors again, and told us how if they can't be appeased, they were obligated to kill the ghost. He refused to explain that part and continued his speech.
We fulfill the wishes dead people leave behind, making sure their regrets don't feed into the curses.
Apparently the castle was a special case since curses normally didn't look like that.
We also deliver messages to the living, helping them process their grief in difficult times.
So there isn't just fighting.
No, fighting curses is just the most dangerous side. Mediums are all about prevention.
That's really fucking cool. I agree, the ability to give closure to others is a noble mission. This is way too cool for Liam.
Hey!
Nobody gets to decide who becomes a medium, unfortunately.
Your face tells me that you'd love to be one.
You wouldn't be wrong. You mentioned that ghosts linger. Do they get a choice or something?
They can either stay or spend time observing the living. Or they could decide to move on and go somewhere.
I see. I was interested in learning what comes after death.
We don't know that. Ghosts that move on have never returned.
That's a shame. Hey, are you okay? Sorry, I meant for everyone. I wasn't referring to myself directly.
Did you get the chance to interact with one yesterday? That would make it easier.
Well, aside from the color, they were glowing and leaking some sort of fluid-like substance. Those are their emotions, thoughts, and memories.
Nice one, smarty pants. Did you read the notebook I left you?
So, it's tangible.
It looks like a liquid, but it's much closer to vapor.
Why does that happen? It's a ghost. It's not supposed to have a body anymore.
That's a thing. They used to.
Are they mimicking it?
Don't downplay the importance of a body. The soul is just one half of us, the spiritual one. The other half is the body.
Like heart and mind. So what exactly happens to a ghost then? Have they lost themselves upon death?
They usually suffer memory loss, speech impairment, and mood swings. It's still them, but they're unstable.
All of them?
Their personality can influence the degree of these problems, but yes, that's how it is.
Will they get worse over time?
I'm unsure. I'm told that as long as they don't rampage, they'll be fine. In fact, I can show you a neat trick later.
Don't toy with the ghosts. I would prefer if you leave those poor people alone.
You guys are no fun!
I don't even get to see them!
Alright guys, chill. I won't touch the ghosts. For now. Now, I bet you want to discuss talents. Next step in our learning course is exactly that.
Am I allowed to turn it off now?
Sure.
Why did you let me keep it on then?
Because I love the faces you make when you hear something you're not supposed to.
You have no shame.
I wish you were right. I'm working on it, though.
I've been waiting for this moment for so long you have no idea.
Joel, How do I put this? I don't know your talent. You're supposed to know it yourself? That's the thing. The soul manifested and you just know. But hey, look at the bright side. There's no record of someone being a medium and having no talent. You'd be the first loser in history to claim that title.
He laughed, pointing his stupid finger at me.
I can't imagine anybody else but you to claim that honor.
Bitch! That stung much harder than I expected it to. Ryan! What's up? Can you, like, punch him? Ryan raised his head from his phone and gave me a confused look. He's just messing with you, calm down. You know what, maybe I did like him more when he was being overprotective. Life sucks, Ryan. That's all there is to it. I sulked in my chair. Everyone was being mean to me.
Don't be like that. Having a talent is the most entertaining element of being a medium.
And he made sure to sound as sarcastic as possible. His talent is being a ghost hotel. That's it. That is Joel's talent. Ghost hotel. I'd like to claim it's the opposite of entertaining.
You just need to learn how to control it.
It was much worse before, but now it feels like I'm using a radio. Do share, that sounds interesting. It's exactly as it sounds. I need to concentrate and find the right frequency. Some thoughts are louder than others, and learning how to navigate through them can be tough. And what is yours? Clyde turned to Liam, and I wholeheartedly supported that decision. I've been wondering the same thing.
I can predict an outcome.
He was phrasing it weird on purpose, wasn't he? You mean the future?
That isn't correct. I can't say something will happen for certain, but I can see what the most likely scenario is.
Like percentages? I was trying to make it make sense. That feels like gambling. Is it gambling? I swear there are games that work the same way. Liam frowned in response. Did that comparison genuinely offend him?
I consider myself better than that.
He always knew what to say because his talent suggested him to act a certain way. Ryan scoffed and I shared those feelings. Talk about being OP!
It's not as powerful as you think it is.
He revealed his tarot cards to us.
This stupid deck of cards only activates if they see a possibility.
I was tempted to grab one and see for myself.
That means wasting time and energy and mindlessly asking again and again and again.
But Liam took them away before I could.
I've learned to ask small questions instead and build the whole ladder myself.
That must be extremely taxing on you. So you can't ask something that isn't within reach.
Basically.
And Dylan's talent?
For that one, I'd need to fetch a ghost, but you guys already said no.
We're just looking out for them. They're already dead, so please don't harass them further. You said it yourself, they're unstable.
I consider myself qualified to handle them properly.
I believe that you're qualified, but I doubt your handling. Is he gonna do it? I guess he'll have to let us, right, Clyde? Yeah.
Okay, now let me get to work. One ghost coming right up.
I immediately felt his soul expanding around and taking up more and more space, enveloping us within it.
This is something every medium can do, it's just ghost bait.
He used it in the castle as well to decrease the amount of reds in the area. So we didn't meet red ghosts because Liam got their attention. Cool! He was doing his best to pretend he didn't care. Clyde, on the other hand, stared at Liam with the same interest as us. You know, I wanted to believe that if I really focused hard, I could see them. I tried that before, trust me, you don't want to go down that path. I was better off not understanding the implications of that sentence. Quiet, they're here. More than one? Liam's soul was gradually shrinking now that he had baited them in. I thought he wanted just one, but I guess he might not be able to control how many would show up.
You guys want some soul? I know you're starving for it.
God, you're not giving them a treat!
Feeding them soul temporarily restores most of their functions, I'll have you know.
They floated closer, seemingly interested in Liam's offer.
But you gotta do one thing for me, is that fair?
Are they, like, on him right now? I'm just imagining that they are. Aren't you scarily accurate with that imagination of yours?
I'm training these idiots and they've never seen a course. Show them yours and I'll reward you.
I rolled my eyes. It changed? Who? What happened? Did Liam fuck it up? That made me laugh.
I did not fuck it up.
Can we really say that for sure? His glare was a delicious meal for my daily pettiness intake. It might not have liked his request. He wiggled his whiskers around. What is a core anyway?
Oh, just their essence and what gives them their form in this world.
It's basically their weak spot. If you break that, dead. Imagine holding someone's heart in your hand. It's pretty normal for them to turn this down. That was another oddly specific comparison.
Seems like that one got scared.
Liam laughed, mocked the one who left, and continued.
What about you? Can you trust me? I'll keep it safe until you're capable of reforming.
The ghost charged at Liam and vanished from our sights. You okay there? Liam grinned as he proudly showed us what was in his paw.
And here it is. An authentic ghost core for you to feast your eyes on.
Ryan gave it a passing glance, believing he wouldn't be able to see this either.
You want to know Dylan's talent? Well, he can always see the core and strike it down.
Wait, I can see it? He immediately stood up and hurried to his side for a better look. Seems like it.
The cloudy mist around it normally makes the core invisible.
The lynx circled around the strange ball with his finger.
When exposed, it looks like a shiny white pearl.
It's much smaller than I expected. Liam gave me a funny look, and I quickly understood what his brain was thinking. They come in different sizes. Thank you for ruining it. We are not going back to this. Ryan pointed at the pearl Liam was holding. So you break that and ghost dies again?
Permanently.
You say it as if the first time wasn't permanent. Clyde pulled out his phone and snapped a picture of it.
I said.
I limited myself to the core. I must keep this. Forgive me.
Whatever.
The others must be made aware of this, not just us. He composed a message and attached the picture to it. What are you going to do with that core now? Aren't they coming back?
Oh, reforming takes time. I'll have to keep it on me until then.
Liam's not a good babysitter. Don't assume the ghost's age. They could be an old man, you never know. They'll still make a statement valid. Our conversations always get weird somehow. What voice does Dan have? Because I can't remember. I can't remember if I actually even gave him a voice. It's Dan Chorus. Oh my god, can't I give him the voice that's in my head? Can I please give him the voice that's in my head? Okay. What are you boys up to? They weren't kidding, he was larger than Ryan. He walked in with several plates of food, carrying them all by himself effortlessly. Dan, you shouldn't leave the restaurant unsupervised. He laughed and gently placed a plate he was carrying on top of Russell's head. You got too many thoughts in that puffy head of yours, kid. I brought you guys some food I didn't get to serve. Should I go back into the kitchen and help you? He huffed and plated a variety of dishes. Judging from the portions, there must have been leftovers straight from the kitchen. You should sit down and enjoy your food. Then he caught a glimpse of Liam's ghostly core before the lynx could get it out of the way. What the god there? You better keep that thing safely tucked away.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Mr.
Just Dan. I was being serious. The restaurant has never been this busy. Your tiger friend is covering for me. I suppose he's back from advertising then? It makes me really happy to see you spending time around kids your age. And doing something else besides working the counter. I could take care of this. Then I'll stay since I'm against wasting food. Good, you can come help after you boys finish working. Yeah, it's, a school project. I better head back. I'm sure that tiger needs my help.
Do you guys want to take a break?
He pocketed the orb and rejoined us at the table. He generously offered us lunch. I can't have a clean conscience if I let his kindness go to waste. I agree. I also need time to process everything you've shared with us so far. How much is left?
One more medium lesson and then the pillars.
Pillars?
It's just the official name assigned to those monsters you met yesterday.
I remembered skimming through those in the handbook. Isn't Blake still working on that? I didn't understand the need to get them drawn, but I didn't care enough to question it.
Should be done by tonight.
Then give us time to take care of our own things. We can discuss this with the rest later. God, this stuff smells great. It's taking a lot of willpower to keep myself under control. There were a lot of pasta dishes. Easy to make additional portions by accident. You're doing great, but you can only choose one. This is way too hard. What's wrong? Is he not feeling well? Ryan's soul flared up, even if he was doing his best to feign ignorance. Something like that. I grabbed his paw and squeezed. I'm okay, I just have to enjoy food a little less for a while. His soul stopped thrashing. I'm glad you're taking that issue of yours more seriously. So Russell had known all along. I remember what he did when Ryan introduced him to me. It's not that bad. You're giving everyone here a terrible impression of me. The bear sighed, his soul slowly returning to his body. Think less about what others think and more about your own well-being.
That's way too easy. Look at me.
You could stand to the opposite, actually. I'm sure he doesn't mean that. We began eating. Joel, what are your plans after this? Thought about it while taking another bite. I should take a break and enjoy the rest of my day until, you know. I didn't want to think about the castle yet. I still had time. Patrice is helping Daniel in the back, and I wanted to see what he's up to. That gave me an idea and turned to Russell. Would you like an extra pair of hands? Maybe two? He stopped mid-bite, moved his fork away, and grunted. You want to help? Oh, that's such a good idea. I'm so down for that. You guys really want to spend your free time working here? I wanted to keep myself busy. There are only 2 of you and too many clients. Technically 3, but he could get up to 5. You should hire at least a couple more employees. Dan wants to keep this a family business and refuses to hire strangers. He gave him a smug look. How lucky that we don't fall under the strangers category. Rush hours are too important for you to mess up. Fine. I will reluctantly allow it. He angrily bit into his pasta. Hell yeah, I get to do some cooking. He genuinely believed Russell would let him near the kitchen, serving the tables. Ryan sighed, shoving an unnecessary amount of pasta into his mouth. Aww. That wasn't a healthy form of protest. You look so good in a black and white suit. He blushed and chewed through it. Oh yeah? I'll remember that. I'd love to stay, but Blake's been asking me to come back. I'll be leaving after I thoroughly enjoy this meal.
Same, I need to find out where the fuck Dylan went and get the last supplies I'm looking for.
Couldn't imagine them working here with us anyway. Then we'll regroup here tonight.
Sure.
I smirked and stared at the orb poking out of his pocket. Don't forget about your new friend.
Ugh, this guy better be gone by the time we head to the castle.
We cleared up our table and returned inside. It was definitely less rowdy than before. Daniel and Patrice must have worked hard to keep the order. The tiger was standing next to a table, taking orders, and Daniel was at the counter. Russell walked up to him to trade places, and the bear retreated inside to focus on cooking. Have you ever worked in a restaurant before? Nope. I had negative working experience. I used to serve tables back in high school. Great, that's a relief. I could tell that he would have liked to shoo me away and keep Ryan. That was slightly hurtful. What about the register? I'm good with numbers. That part was included in my useless scholarship. I'll teach you as soon as the queue clears. The tiger walked back to the front with empty plates. He looked surprised by the swap, but immediately smiled at us, his tail swishing as he did. Hello, friends. I didn't know you were already here. Yeah, we've been here all along. He awkwardly laughed it off. Really? I got busy. Sorry, I didn't mean to miss you. His breath smelled of beer. You've been drinking on the job? I pinched my nostrils shut. I allowed him to. A terrible realization dawned on me when the two shared a complicit look. Don't tell me you're being paid with free beers. Ryan was just as disappointed as me. We're actually working for them? That's not free anymore, is it? He was making it worse. Selling your soul for alcohol. I'm not. This is just for fun. Ryan crossed his arms, now glaring at the bull. Russell is taking advantage of your alcoholism. Patrice leaned closer, playfully showing his teeth. Ryan, I'm going to bite you. Here, let me check something. Alright. I didn't need that image in my mind. I won't let him go too far, so stop worrying. Then he turned away from us to listen to a customer. So, what exactly have you done? I wanted to know what kind of magic he had used on this corpse of a restaurant. What do you mean? I'm just working my charm. Talking to people and making them comfortable. He flexed, which was maybe a hint toward the answer, but I couldn't tell. This obvious flirting seemed normal to him, and being tipsy could have enhanced it. Or not. Blake posted Daniel's dishes online, but that can't be all either. Their page must have been quite popular. I see, it can't be helped. I have to share my trade secret with you guys. He was teasing us, keeping it vague and stringing us along. Clyde told us what he did, but all you did was simply go to Main Street. It was something anyone could have done. Then Ryan's eyes suddenly widened. Oh, he did that! Patrice giggled as he leered at the bear. He figured it all out. What a shame, now I can't do it here anymore. The tiger sighed, disappointed that Ryan solved the mystery. Do what? Ryan quieted down, thinking about what next to say. When Patrice gets tipsy, he becomes expressive. He slowed down, implying something else. It was really hot out there, you know. Oh god, Patrice, did you actually strip naked? That's a felony! Put your penis away! It was really hot out there, you know. He grabbed his shirt and aired it out. Holding that sign was making me sweat. So I took this off. Liam was actually right? What do you say? I didn't go full nude if that was his idea. Those two could share the same thoughts in the weirdest way possible. You still need to teach me how to make your pecs bounce like that. Now, this was enough to make me feel embarrassed. What to see? It's so easy. I wanted them to stop talking about this while making it about myself. People are eating. He grinned and gave me a knowing look. Then they can eat this too. That caught me off guard. Patrice. My ring felt hotter. Of course it did. Listen, Ryan, as a most qualified tit enjoyer, I need to make sure yours are up to standards. Huh? So I can't teach you unless I can make sure they bounce. His hand stretched forward and Ryan took a step back. Wait! I didn't like this. Just one squeeze. Let me feel them. Ryan stepped forward again. And if I let you? I really didn't like it that he was genuinely considering this. I'll teach you how to make your soggy bitches jiggle like crazy. Ryan had to turn him down. Guys! They stared at me, surprised by my reaction, and honestly, I was too. I blushed and lowered my voice. Nobody is doing anything here. You hear me? Then let's go back. No! Why not? Ryan seemed okay with it. I hated that Patrice was right, that I was technically in the wrong for not letting them do what they wanted. I mean... But it really bothered me, and I hated how he wasn't thinking about the implications of said action. It's not like you guys are dating and it wouldn't bother anyone. Turned away from a mixture of anger and embarrassment across my face. Unless... No, it's not like that! I wanted to disappear right now. I think you being jealous is cute. Were you thinking you wanted to be in my place instead? I refuse to see what kind of look he was giving me. Before you say anything else, this conversation is making me uncomfortable. I'm not going to agree with you. It was supposed to be me! It was supposed to be me! Not Patrice! It's supposed to be me, not Patrice, but I will never admit that. And yet you're not Ryan raised his paw and stood in between us. Enough! You've gone a bit too chatty. There's a table calling for you. That seemed to be enough to make Patrice realize things had gone too far. Sorry, I won't bring it up again. We all knew he wasn't serious and just playing. I didn't blame him. Just that my relationship with Ryan was weird right now. Patrice left and I took off the hat. You guys make it seem so easy sometimes. I can also get shy. I waved him off, annoyed by his desire to level the playing field. You can't compare us. You were clearly fine talking about it. That's because Patrice is... Well, yeah, I guess I was. He stopped himself and stared down. Another thought he failed to share, trapped in his throat. It wouldn't be the same, though. I raised up my head, wondering what he truly meant with that. Patrice, I wouldn't feel anything with him. I was thinking about something else. Then a customer called for a server, forcing Ryan to leave my side. I'll be back. I watched him head toward a table on my left. I found myself smiling. He might not have said it out loud, but I wasn't dumb. I knew exactly what he was thinking. You ready? I think I'm done serving drinks. Yeah, sure, lay it all on me. And so I spent most of the afternoon with my friends at the Saffron Stash. See, I told you I'd figure it out. You called me over so many times, it would have been easier if I'd done everything myself. Shut up. And that means next time I won't do that because you taught me so well. I'm going to ask for your help again. Oh? Even if I think Patrice and I can handle it all on our own, I appreciate the company. He stabbed me and didn't even know it. So I'm company? I hung my head down, defeated. The best company, understood? I faced him, holding back my desire to cry. Ryan! What's wrong? I complimented you, didn't I? You didn't hear the whole conversation. I don't get it. He just wants to be useful. He stared right into Russell's eyes, daring him to read his thoughts. Now hand over the goods. The tiger extended his paw forward, eagerly awaiting his reward. This is the last one for today. Alright, Dad, I'll stop drinking after this one. The doors swang open, then Liam took a few steps forward and collapsed on top of the bags he had been carrying.
Can you help me with this?
He was dragging three giant bags across the floor. Didn't you say you could easily carry them all? Dylan mocked him as he stood outside, watching the lynx struggle.
Alright, you made your point, now get this away from me!
Dylan grunted, kicked Liam out of the way, and grabbed his things.
You fucking...
He fell over, smushing his snout against the pavement. It was a tap. Don't tell me you're made of paper.
Whatever.
The crocodile grabbed all 4 bags and nonchalantly walked in. Do that to Liam again. Not the same thing, but I didn't want to say it. Don't tempt me. You okay? Patrice offered his paw, but Liam ignored it and stood up by himself.
I can get up on my own, thank you very much.
The tiger reluctantly moved his arm away and sighed.
We're only missing the cops.
His eyes locked on our table. Who? Most of us didn't catch that. He's talking about Blake and Clyde. I assumed so, but I didn't understand the reasoning for the names. Liam deployed the smug face.
It's a joke about authority, but I'm guessing that was a little too deep.
That was a terrible comparison. I'd feel offended. He chuckled and nudged me with his elbow.
It's just the truth. All I did was make it a little fun.
I rolled my eyes. His idea of fun was dangerous. Right. This yours? Dylan lifted one of the bags and sent it flying towards me. Traveled in a straight line, the same way a bullet would. I should have dodged, but my stupid brain assumed it would be okay for me to catch it instead. Wow, be careful with this! The bag had halted its run a few inches from my face, Ryan nonchalantly snatching it moments before it collided into me. Feels heavier. He shook the bag, trying to understand its contents based on weight alone. Hearing those metallic sounds sent shivers down my spine. I think my life just flashed before my eyes again. I grabbed my hat out of terror, images of what would have happened suddenly haunting me. Our best work.
You shouldn't open that.
Liam stopped the bear from snooping around. Ryan mumbled a few complaints and dropped the bag on the floor. You get me all riled up and then tell me to hold back. Dylan grinned, his face saying it all. Then take it out right now.
We agreed to reveal those in the van.
Dylan nearly just ended the visual novel. It would have been over. Patrice copied Ryan and gave the lynx a confused look. Mine isn't as heavy.
Your accessories are lighter.
Damn! 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 He beamed with excitement and raised his fist next to his face. I'm so looking forward to getting back in boxing! You already know what's inside yours? Yeah, tested it out before this. Russell instead shot Liam a disapproving glare. I've seen mine already, and I hate it. Lynx chuckled as he held himself back from sharing what Russell didn't.
I think it suits you.
You're just waiting for me to pull it out so everyone can say the line.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Seeing the devil smiling was basically an admission of guilt. I shall let Daniel know that you're all staying for dinner. Russell sighed, turned his back to the kitchen, and peeked inside.
You still owe me sushi, but I'm okay with ramen.
The bull moved back to Liam. Bring it over from the closest convenience store next time. Lynx held his chest, pretending to have been stabbed by his words.
Wow! Is this the way you treat your most loyal customer?
You're the most cursed one. He stared back and quieted down.
That is kinda true.
His sense of humor was terrible. Should we discuss what happened yesterday while we wait? The doors opened again. I'd like to join that conversation as well, if you don't mind. Blake's ears were as sharp as ever. We're really sorry for the delay. I was making sure I'd completed all my duties for the day. The dragon continuously bowed, ashamed of this minor inconvenience. We kept saying that it was fine, but he didn't seem satisfied. I had to stay behind to help him get through all of them.
God, finally! You got them?
Blake lifted his own backpack. Yes, I did. We spent this time sharing what happened across everyone's night and ate food, or at least most of us tried to. Patrice took a deep breath, the longest I've ever seen him take. I'm not freaking out, but I'm not hungry anymore. He pushed his dinner away and toward Ryan. I shouldn't have that. The bear begrudgingly pushed it back to Patrice. Oh, sorry, I thought you liked onion rings. Just hearing Patrice say that was inflicting psychic damage. They're so good, but I already ate my share. He closed his eyes, pretending that there was no food here to eat. What are you going to do? I don't want anyone exploring the castle tonight. Wolf opened his eyes and met Liam's.
And I agree with you. Dylan and I will team up this time while the rest of you wait in the safe room.
Blake, not expecting Liam to actually respect his wishes, was at a loss for words. So, we're switching up the plan? Liam shrugged, and another mocking tone followed suit.
Do you want to go then? I thought you didn't want to.
That small insult Liam hurled at him was enough to bring Blake back to earth. Not interested, my assistance here should be considered a last resort. I'm gladly letting you go first. That's not fair of us, Blake. He shouldn't have to do this alone. That wasn't all fair. He dragged us all into this, didn't he? Clyde froze. He couldn't share the truth, so he struggled to give the wolf a convincing motivation. I also have a duty to step out and join the search. Blake raised a brow, unsure of what he just heard. The search for who exactly? There's only one answer here, but he demanded to hear it from Clyde's mouth. His sister! Isn't she still trapped somewhere? He blurted it out as his fist banged the table, causing discomfort to settle in. The tiger gave Liam a look, and then we went back to Clyde. Clyde, listen, I appreciate your intentions, but maybe it's best if you don't go out and risk yourself. Are you also going to wait and do nothing? I didn't say that. I can see where Patrice is coming from. He has a connection to her, but you? I figured this wasn't going to be enough to keep Blake quiet. Why would you take this kind of risk over a stranger? His lie wasn't holding up. I also want to join the search. I raised my hand, hoping to make his silly story more convincing. And this time, I'm going to be the one kicking ass. Ryan didn't hesitate to copy me.
Okay, slow down, kids. I'm going to stand by what I just said.
Blake pinched the bridge of his nose after watching all of this unfold in front of him. Then we're sticking with the original pairs unless someone wants to stay behind.
Really?
Having you two in the same team isn't optimal. You should spread your resources across a larger surface. I'm going to fight him there. I know. He smirked, staring directly at Liam. I've seen the video Clyde recorded. His eyes widened.
He did what?
Liam immediately turned to Clyde and the dragon faced the other way with an innocent look on his face. Oh dear, I've done a little mischief. I apologize. Lynx quickly checked a few tarot cards out of frustration.
This is what happens when you can't see every detail.
Then he pointed at Blake.
I need your drawings now.
His paw opened and demanded them.
Gimme, 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 gimme.
You knew it would come to this, didn't you? Liam shrugged.
Sort of. I was going to show them regardless. It's essential to know what these pillars look like and what they will do.
Blake opened his backpack and revealed a folder. Get closer and make some space. I see where most of your focus went.
Blake?
Liam gave him a deadpan stare. What? This is what Clyde told me. Why are they so big? Blake didn't hesitate to throw him under the bus. I might be misremembering, but I don't think her breasts were this voluptuous. Clyde copied the shape with his hands. I wish it were. I'd place my head right in between those. Patrice closed his eyes and pretended to be there. Too bad it's not a man. I wanted to move this conversation forward and to stop discussing tits. Is there anything useful here? Blake grabbed his pencil and circled around her face. She's supposed to be half feline and half reptile. And her tail hits like a whip. Liam leaned closer and intensely stared at the drawing. But his eyes were specifically targeting her boobs. Damn it, Liam! Is this drawing making you remember something? The dragon didn't know what he was setting himself up for.
This reminds me of those mouse pad gooners by his merch.
He's not wrong! The fact that he isn't wrong! I pushed him out of the way, now irritated. And here I thought you were going to stay focused on the conversation. Don't be disrespectful or cool as heck. Your constructive criticism sucks. This is why I don't draw for anyone. Clyde looked very confused, yet I wanted to spare him from the pain knowledge could bring. You don't want to understand those words, Clyde, I promise. It was okay for him to be feeling left out this time. This is worth forgetting. I'll take your word for it.
The point is, she might be venomous since the snakes on her head are alive.
Thank you for finally getting to the point.
So I've packed a generic anti-venom to slow it down.
He flipped to the next drawing. It's Mr. Blorbo! It's Mr. Blorbo! It's Mr. Blorbo! Yay! It's Mr. Blorbo! Yay! He always had PK Fire! He's casting Firaga! He is so beautiful! Love Mr. Blorbo! Cherish Mr. Blorbo! Sacrifice all mortal possessions to Mr. Blorbo! Ryan immediately lunged forward. Who's this guy? I love him already! Yes! Ryan! Yes! And wrestled the picture out of his paws. He looks so round and cuddly! Then Patrice ran him and grabbed the left side. Can you even do that? I'm thinking you'd sink into him. Your thoughts scare me. I know there's more behind those eyes. And all of them are related to the attraction scale. I think this one came out surprisingly well.
Except for the fire in his hand, he doesn't do that.
Aw, he doesn't have fire, I will claim my cool drawing points regardless. So this is the slime monster, right? He shoots water and controls the wildlife around him.
I didn't exactly understand what his game was. His behavior is completely irrational. He didn't prioritize targeting us. Anyhow, I consider this guy the most dangerous by far.
Can I keep the drawing? Should I color it for you?
You're not charging him extra?
He likes it.
You are so easy.
It's Mr. Fridge! I waited for someone to say something stupid. Nothing? I'm not interested in armor. Well, someone has to be wearing it. And my decision will change based on how they look after cracking that shell open. Of course. Blake pointed at the whole drawing, his expression souring the longer he stared. This one was torture. I hated it. Do not make me draw armor ever again. That was obvious.
Yeah, I can see it.
I dragged the drawing closer and ran my finger across his body. He should be wider. That waist is super thin, but it doesn't matter. Patrice smiled upon hearing that. It's for the other men to grab.
Gay joke's nice.
I can't believe you're making me say this, but none of these monsters are fuckable, Patrice. Let a man dream. Mr. Blorbo's fuckable. Ryan, shut the fuck up. Mr. Blorbo is. That was enough to set the tiger off and he sprung up. What would you know, have you asked them? I pretended I didn't hear any of that. So this guy doesn't really talk, but I can tell that he seems obsessed with me. His mannerisms were extremely similar to a ghost. Who wouldn't be? I totally get him. Be quiet.
Big sword, blood everywhere, and fully protected. You've got yourself quite the enemy.
He didn't need to remind me, but knowing him, he wanted to. This is it. I want him. The drawing or the real thing? Both. 4 arms, 3 heads, unlimited fun. I am shocked you didn't mention anything about the, you know. His eyes traveled to the bottom and I nudged him. Why are you encouraging him? I'm starting to believe you enjoy this. Ryan laughed but didn't respond. I was wondering, are all the faces accurate? What do you mean? Clyde pointed at the third face on the right. Thank you! This one is completely different from the others. That is the greatest face. It's so cute! Blake chuckled. Oh no, I just got lazy.
I paid you for these drawings.
Maybe you should have paid more. Besides, nothing special, I just made a goofy expression instead. So he looks even hotter in person? That's all I needed to know. You'll get chopped to pieces before you can get a single word out. Dylan forced Patrice to look at what he was carrying besides his killer looks. You see these? 2 giant axes. His forearms allow him to swing them effortlessly.
I think you might be on par with that slime.
I think controlling the elements is better than physical strength. Let's just hope there aren't any more enemies waiting for us. There is one more thing that I didn't draw because you look just like me. Or me. There will be. I hated how confident he sounded.
The 3-headed pillar mentioned that king, so he might be the target I'm looking for.
Blake gathered all his drawings, or at least tried to. Patrice stole the 3-headed man and Ryan kept the big slime monster. Aww. Okay, you guys can keep them. Food will be ready soon. Patrice looked in the direction of Russell's kitchen. Let me help. Go talk to Dan about it then. We helped Russell deal with some customers that appeared for dinner hours, ate some food ourselves, and prepared to leave. Tried their hardest to keep up a positive atmosphere, and they succeeded. Their stupid jokes had kept my mind off the painful reality we were about to face, but as we entered the van, that reality came back in full force. We're going to be okay. Yeah! I am upset because we don't have Mr. Blorbo. Oh wait, I was going to do the thing. Let me do the thing real quick. Okay. Oh, that's actually perfect. I can't remember. If Orion or Mr. Blorbo tit mouse pad is ever made, I will buy one. That's all. Stay safe, have a good night. I might design a mouse pad tonight, and I will see you all tomorrow.